Hello everyone! So I'm so excited to share this. I'm so excited to share this zine. So I made a zine. You're looking at a homemade traditional watercolour and ink zine about stag beetles. Yeah, so I don't have too much of an intro to say because most of the video will be the process, and then at the end I think is when we'll actually look at it as a whole. So yeah, so I had this took me, I want to say it took me about 2 weeks, a week, I lost count, to finish. Now realistically, could it have been done in a day? Yes, of course it could, but because I really wanted to do this and I wanted to make it look good, I kind of ended up spending a little bit more time on it, even though it's just like 8 pages, and two of those pages are just the front cover and the back cover. But I really enjoyed making this. I have zoomed in at the moment, so I hope I haven't lost too much resolution, but because it's so small compared to the camera angle, yeah, so basically that's all I have to say. The rest of the footage is me creating it, so I hope you enjoy. So you can watch me fold, you can watch me struggle to fold for about, well, I've sped it up so it's 3 minutes, so I can talk to you while you watch me struggle, embarrassingly so. Oh, I mean, like, what am I doing? I'm turning it round, I'm turning it back round again, and I'm trying to fold it, but I'm not even folding it successfully. And by the end of this, I can tell you right now, it's still not perfectly aligned. It's not straight. And you'll notice I don't have any like special tools. I know when they do like when they make a sketchbook or a journal, they have this little like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a stick. What? It's like, no, it's more like a spatula where it folds down the paper. I do not have that. Anyway, apart from that bad description of whatever I just tried to describe, you can see me trying to fold it. So first, it's called a zine. I kept wanting to call it Zine. I don't know why. For some reason, I saw the E on the end of zine and wanted to say Zine. And I had to keep reminding myself not to call it Zine, because obviously when I was researching it, it's the short term for magazine. Well, obviously I call them a magazine, I don't call them a magazine, so that was the first silly hurdle. But I don't know, I just saw a couple of videos and some shorts just pop up advertising their zines and what they had made, and I just got obsessed with it. My plan was to do loads of winter watercolour paintings, but like any artist, sometimes there's just this one thing that you get fixated on, and this was it for me. I just wanted to make this. I did have a practice one that I did do footage with that I wrote a poem for, and I liked the poem for the first day that I made it, and I was like, oh, that poem's quite nice. And then a couple of hours later it was, oh, that poem's not as good as I thought it was. And then later on it was just, wow, that poem's awful, that's never seen the light of day. I say that, but I've still got it. I haven't trashed it or anything. It just won't be shown. So yeah, so that's that part. So anyway, lately I've been obsessed. Maybe obsessed is a strong word, but I've been really wanting to draw stag beetles. I did an ink illustration of a stag beetle, I think a couple of weeks ago. And I thought, well, I'll combine the two. My obsession with at the moment wanting to draw stag beetles, and an obsession with making a zine, not a zine. See, I remembered that time. So this is kind of what I ended up with. So you'll notice that I painted both sides of my paper. At that point, I hadn't figured out which side to fold it on, so I painted both sides just to be sure that both sides would have the colours that I had in mind for the background of the zine. And I'm glad I ended up folding it the way that I did, because I prefer the lighter yellowy colour that I did to the brown colours that I did. So I'm happy there. But here we go. Here's me figuring out how to fold it over and over again. And it's embarrassing to watch me just try and figure out, because it's folding paper. Like, how could it take me so long to fold paper? But I've always been awful with folding paper, and also doing straight lines with a ruler, and just, I'm awful at it. Even though it's not perfectly straight, the lines don't all match up. I ended up being really happy with the final folding that I'd managed to do. So now I'm just going ahead and I'm numbering the pages. I did speed this up because it's a long process of me putting numbers on. Okay, so here's what I'm working with. I've numbered all of them. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. It took me a long time to figure out how to fold this, and it's still not perfectly aligned. As you have seen, it doesn't perfectly align together, but we're still going to go ahead with this piece because I've already decorated the background, and second, if I admit the truth to myself, I don't think I'm going to be able to fold it any better than this. Besides this, I'm going to cut myself a little bit of slack because this is my first time doing this. So now I'm going to think of something to sketch on this. So I've just done this little section of my zine. I've got a lot more to go. So this bit was done off camera because I wanted to kind of figure out what medium I wanted to use. What medium I wanted to use. And I went for ink and watercolour, but this isn't watercolour paper by the feel of it, so I wanted to do this bit by myself, just in case something went horrendously wrong. But no, it seems to be doing really well for a quick wash, so everything else I will actually show. So my topic I ended up picking was Stag Beetles, and I was just going to have like little illustrations of not its life cycle exactly, but just like over here you have a grub and then a stag beetle, and then the tree, obviously I tried to do what I've tried to do a rotten tree because they eat rotten wood in their grub stage. So yeah, that's where we are so far. So you'll notice here that I am now working on the stag beetle. I'm using a fountain pen with watercolours, one of my favourite techniques. I use it a lot. I stand by it. But you'll notice the two other pages are already done. So oh my goodness. As of right now, I can't see what I'm drawing. What? The tree. There you go. Jeez. The tree trunk, and the rotten tree trunk, and the plant with the little tiny, they're tiny sketch. They're not, haven't been drawn in yet, but the little tiny sketch of some grubs. You'll notice those are finished. I did have footage of that. I recorded me doing them, but they weren't in frame. I don't know why I keep doing this, but they weren't in frame. You couldn't see them. So wonderful. Yay! With me cutting off the other two pages, you can see here I almost cut this one off as well. If I just had the paper slightly moved a bit more down, it would also be cut out. So thank goodness this wasn't cut out as well. So I'm working on the grub, the same ink technique. So I did paint the orange part of the grub's head first, and then the rest of the body. I didn't actually use any watercolours, I don't think. I think I just used the ink that was already there and the water for my paintbrush to give it the grey colour that a grub has. So yeah, I think that worked out nicely. I can't believe I cut off the other page. Okay, here we go. A little bit more work has been done to it. So I need to do some finer details, like I want to add some white highlights, and also you can see these, try and zoom in here, these little grub sketches at the bottom. I'm going to be doing them in probably like gel pen or acrylic markers, because if I did them with fountain pen and then use watercolour over the top of them, they would have been unrecognisable. So obviously like this grub here, I didn't have to use any colours because they're kind of creamy white coloured anyway, so I could just use the pen and add water, but they're too small so they would be just a black smudge. So then we have the tree, and then this bit's upside down unfortunately because of the way the zine folds. So there's just I think the one that you're looking at right now might actually be my favourite illustration. So I need to wait for it to dry to define the details, and then I need to figure out how I'm going to write my little bit of information. I was thinking of maybe keeping it simple because I don't have a lot of room to write, and I'm a big writer. And then I need to think about the front cover and the back cover, and I don't have any ideas for that yet. Okay, so I have a bit of a progress update. I have managed to do a front cover and a back cover. I ended up doing capital writing for everything because I don't like my normal handwriting, but looking at this, I don't really like this writing either. So anyway, this is also supposed to, I'm probably going to change it, it's supposed to be a fake barcode. It looks like a keyboard. So yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to do this because it's obviously smaller than my sketchbook. Do I zoom in, or will that ruin the quality? I zoom in to do my YouTube shorts, but even they're bigger than this. So how does that look? Can I get away with that? Can I get away with that? Oh, if I do it, ooh, don't know what my voice did there. If I do it like this, I might be able to get away with it. What do you think? I don't know why I said what do you think. You can't answer me. I'm sorry? My dog's with me. He's behind me. Obviously, when I do voiceovers, he obviously wants to come and see who I'm talking to. And obviously, I'm talking to a camera, so goodness knows what he thinks. But he's with me right now, making some making some cute noises in the background. So anyway, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to paint it. If I go to paint it, will I fold it like that? Maybe that'll be better. But then obviously you can kind of see the reveal. It doesn't matter. Let's figure something out. Okay, almost prepared, I think. Just getting my fountain pen. No, this is all clean. I don't want to get like marks on it, but I'm pretty sure I cleaned my table recently. Let me just move this around because I just did a voiceover for my other parts of this video. And there was one part where the footage that I did, I hadn't realised until I looked back that I had cut off the illustration. So there's two pages missing, unfortunately, and I don't want to do it again. So hang on. Do I have my eraser in here? My rubber in here? Or some type of rubber, doesn't matter if it's my main one. No? Yes? Well, this might do. It used to be a dice. Just to rub out page 8 at the top here. I used this rubber in school. This is an old rubber. So I don't know about the barcode. I don't even know if I'm going to keep it, to be perfectly honest. What is it? What do you see? What? Are you looking out the window? I was talking to my dog. I wasn't asking you if you were looking out the window. Are you looking out the window? Anyway. So I'm just trying to get my pen. There's a bit of noise going on outside at the moment, but it seems to be quiet, so we should be okay. Right. I'm going to do the writing last. So what do I work on first? Let's work on this bit first. So I'm just going to... So I came up with the front cover and the back cover of this zine in my own time, because I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to do. So I kind of had to give it a little time, just without the pressure of recording it. Sorry, I had a brain shutdown moment. I was trying to think of what I was trying to say. I didn't want to have the pressure of having to try to sketch and to record, so I just did it by myself. And it ended up being really simple. It's just going to be a lot of little illustrations. They're kind of the same illustrations that are already in the zine itself. So there's that. Are you settling down back there? Are you? He's probably going to go. He's probably going to have a nap. So why can I not find... Okay. Give me my paintbrush, please. Thank you. My where the jar that I hold my paintbrushes in did not want to give me my paintbrush. Right. So what I normally do, gumbo shoe, and then I do the tips of the strands. Because when the gumbo shoe mixes with the black ink from my fountain pen, it already ends up looking green. Okay, I'm going to get sap green. And mix those two together. So at one point during the voiceover, I mentioned that this paper isn't watercolour paper, and it's not watercolour paper, but I think it is mixed media, because my desk that wobbles, sorry, my desk is a computer desk with no computer, but it obviously has the section where it pulls out and you can put your keyboard. Well, obviously I don't need a keyboard if I don't have a computer on it, so I use it to hold loose paper from notebooks, sketchbooks, that kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure this paper is mixed media, I believe. So it's not watercolour, but it can take wet media. So yeah, thought I'd mention that. I'm getting indigo. Okay, so I've got indigo and I've made a dark colour to go in between. The strands. And then what I'm going to do is, oh well, I just completely covered that, never mind. Oh dear. I'm going to then wet my paintbrush and kind of spread this up. It doesn't really matter if it covers the writing, because obviously I'm going to be doing that over the top. So it's the Stag Beetle that I'm most concerned about, because oh dear. Okay, so gumbo shoe, I might add a bit of that just to get some different colours, so it's not just dark green. Oh man, I don't know, that kind of wanted that to be a bit lighter, more like the pages inside of the book. Whoops. I'm not sure if I had more gumbo shoe. I don't know if it will. We'll have to go with that because it's a bit late and I can't reverse time. So this is what I've got. Right. Now the problem is I want to turn it this way, because normally when I do art, when I don't have the camera on, I draw at a funny angle. So I apologise, but you're going to have to look at this sideways just for a little while. Well, I say a little while, it might be for the rest of the video. So okay, that was kind of risky because that bit's still damp, but I took that risk and it seems to be okay. Just put the indigo. Oops, what indigo? Oh dear, not indigo. You see, the problem is like that. I can probably add something over the top, maybe some markers, or maybe just dab in a bit more green. But I don't know, I don't hate how that looks. It's kind of fun that it's a bit abstract-y. I just want it to be abstract. Sorry, I don't mind it being abstract as long as you can still tell that it's plants. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Am I going to turn it upside down? Okay, we're upside down to do, oh dear, the fruit. So I'm going to be careful with this because this is a smaller sketch than one of the pages inside of the book, of the zine. So I kind of have to be careful because obviously a smaller section with the ink is more likely to end up a black mess. So I'm just trying not to touch the black ink that I've done too much. So kind of did all right there. Make this a bit bigger actually. I might ignore the sketch and make it a bit bigger. Okay. It doesn't matter that I go out of the lines because I did want a little bit of a green, bit of a ink like that. I still want some of the orange, kind of yellow, obviously, that I've painted the background of this paper with. But I do want a little bit of interest as well. That's looking okay so far. It's kind of what I had in mind. So now let's do this. Oops, branch. That wasn't quite how I sketched it. That's fine. So some of the leaves. Oh, that bit's a bit too wet, which is why it kind of resisted. The pen. Also is that I don't want it. Problem is when I do it when it's still wet, I don't want to do it too much, otherwise it will tear the paper. Right, so now we're going. I hope you can still see. Could you not? Oh, I keep doing this. I keep forgetting to check what you can see. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get some. I've already got a bit of Van Dyke Brown and Burnt Umber already in my palette for my last painting, so I'm just going to use that. So, oops. Get some gumbo shoe. Careful. Trying to be careful. Because obviously this is smaller than if I did this technique. Obviously my sketchbook, I've got bigger area, but it's a bit more tricky, I would say, over a smaller size to work with. Okay. I've got a bit of indigo, but I have mixed it with the Gambo Shoe a little bit in my palette, so it's not as dark. Okay, just add some of that over here. I did have some branches here too that I think I've forgotten. Never mind. Turn it back. Oh, turn it back round. Remember to check what it's looking like. Okay, so now I've done that. It's a stag beetle. This bit makes me nervous because it's, like I said, so small compared to, so I can't, so when I sketched it, I did do it up here. But like I said, I don't want the paper to tear, so I'm being gentle as I do it. And because this is so small, I didn't get as many details in the stag beetle. It's not, its body and torso and abdomen kind of are a bit more of a loose sketch. I can't say that they're really anatomy, but I can't say it. Oh, why am I struggling to say that? It's not accurate to a stag beetle. There you go. That's the best I could do. Otherwise, I'm going to embarrass myself spending hours trying to say that. I still can't. Okay, now here's the thing. I need to be careful because that's beetle, but obviously I still want to be able to do my writing, so light red, light red. Light red, in red hue. I'm going to do indigo, Van Dyke Brown, to make a grey black kind of colour. which sounds silly because I've got a black ink pen. You see, that part's really sketchy. So light red again for the... And it has kind of... That's fine actually, I don't mind if it's mixed in with the top part. Just kind of gently get some... My dog just sighed at me. He sighed at me. What, am I talking too much? Is that the problem? You ever been sighed at by your animal, by your pet? It's probably because I'm talking too much and he's trying to nap back there. So the thing is, he's a cuddle bug. Like he's a very snuggly dog. He likes to have fuss and hugs all the time. And if he could, he would, like, if I sit down, if he could get away with it, he would sit on me all day and have cuddles. But during the day, you've got to get up. You've got to get up and do things. But he, you know, he thinks I shouldn't. He thinks I should just sit there and hug him all day. Which I don't have a problem with. I would do that if I could. Okay, so I like it. I do like it. I'm not quite sure that it quite looks like how I wanted it to look, but I'm not disappointed with it because, in all honesty, I didn't really have a huge idea for what I wanted to do with the front page and the back page anyway. So yeah, right, so I'm probably done with the ink pen because I won't be using the fountain pen to do the writing anyway. Let's be careful. So this is my paper that I use to kind of, so I can do splatters without mixing, without splattering splatters where I don't want them. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. Should we, what should I use? Gamboshoo. Oh, here you can see me practicing writing, and that is a swatch. I'm going to use Gamboshoo. Try and splatter some colour. Oh, I didn't smudge too much, the beetle. I'm happy about that. I thought maybe it would leave a big indent, but it didn't. Indent, a smudge, you know, like a space where the paint had been pulled up. Okay, just going to... Ooh. Okay, I've got a yellow table now. Okay, hang on a minute, hang on. Let me clean this. Okay, the lighting is a bit dark now. I don't know what the lighting was like the whole time, but it's got a bit dark outside. But anyway, so this is basically done for now. So when I do the white highlights and the writing and I guess like little details wherever I feel like it needs to be dry, obviously. So I guess we'll come back during today whenever I have some free time and it is dry. Bye. I don't know why I did that. I always do that at the end of the video. This isn't the end of the video. I'll see you later. Okay, so here's a little progress update. The light is a bit better now because the sun's come back out. So this, it's not completely dry. It is damp, but it was dry enough for me to do the pen. So here's what I did. Just the little pen I used the pen to do some of the grass because I lost a lot of the ink, which was a shame. I wanted more defined grass, but I can't really reverse time. It is what it is. And so far, this is what we're working with. I haven't done the fake barcode yet. So there's my stag beetle. And then the fruit at the top. And I haven't done the writing yet. So yeah, so that is what I'm working with for the front and the back page. So yeah. Can you see me in the reflection of the pen? Can you see me? No, you can't. You can just sort of see the colours of my dress. Hello. Ooh. You don't need to, trust me, you do not need to see me. Anyway, okay, so I'm here for to talk a little bit about the white gel pens. So this is the pen that I normally use. It's the Signo Uniball. This was a broad pen. It looks like it's still got ink when I obviously unscrew it and have a look at the ink inside, but it doesn't work anymore. So I don't. It looks like it has ink, but I'm not too sure. This one is obviously, you can see there is still ink. So that's obviously a pen that I used. But this pen here, I've been using a lot lately because it works really fantastic. And here's the thing, I got it as a present in a big pen set, a big gel pen set. So this is one of those ones where it's just unbranded and it works fantastic. So yeah, there's me just coming in to talk a little bit about the pens that I was using. Okay, oh my goodness, I think it's actually finished. I think I'm officially done with it. I'm not sure there's much else to do. So a little bit of a front cover and a little bit of the back cover. I smudged ink on my desk. When I was trying to draw the fake barcode, I smudged it. So yeah, so it's finished. It's finished. So I think in the order of things, I think I'll do an intro. And then I'll do the full process, and then at the end of the video I'll probably end up showing the full thing off. So yeah, right, so let's have a look at the zine itself. I don't know how I'm going to do this because obviously it's far away from the camera because of the camera angle. So I could zoom in, but I don't want to lose resolution, but I could kind of maybe, how's that looking? Okay. So it's still a little bit wet. Maybe I shouldn't do this straight away. I'm so excited to get this edited and uploaded that I don't know, maybe I've lost my patience a little bit. Anyway, so here's the front page. So the front page took me a long time to decide what I wanted to do, but it's just the stag beetle in my awful handwriting, and then I did do a little fake barcode that kind of just looks like a keyboard, to be honest. And then it's $1.99. Is it worth $1.99? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to turn it around, and then obviously the back page is again the Stag Beetle by Miss Inky. Hello, that's me. I can't believe I just did that. And then 2026 again, barcode that doesn't match the first barcode. It's $1.99. So let's open it. Oh, okay. So here we go. So the grub, and that's obviously the grub, shed skin 5 times as they grow, and then obviously just the stag beetle. I hope you can still see. The grub eats rotting wood. They do not eat any live plants. They clean up old logs. They live underground up to 6 to 7 years. And then I did a rotten tree, and those were done in gel pen. I drew over the top of the watercolour once it dried. So obviously, because this is small, there's a lot more information that I wanted to write. I was going to also write that they're basically clean up crew. So if you've got rotting logs in your garden and you leave them, they will eventually get round to cleaning them up for you. Because I do remember there was actually a bench in this park that I used to always sit on with my family, and it wasn't actually a log. Sorry, yes, it was a log. It wasn't actually a bench as designed as a bench. It was just a bench that had fallen on the side and people used it as a seat. And eventually everyone that sat on it started to notice that it was getting smaller and smaller because all these creatures and stag beetles, and we're eating away at it, because luckily enough I did actually see a stag beetle one day actually sitting on it, so there you go. I was debating whether to glue these down, because like I keep wanting to pull a page, so here we go. This was my favourite spread to work on. I love how the fruit turned out. The adult stag beetle does not eat. They drink tree sap or fruit, mainly rotten ones. So they drink sap from trees, they drink fruit juice. They basically, all of their energy store is reserved from what they eat as a group. So yeah. So like I said, I wanted to put a lot more writing in it, but this is what we're with. And this is what I ended up with. I really like that spread. I don't know why. I just love this illustration. I was so happy with it. And it was just such a shame, because I think it's one I didn't manage to get footage of. Okay, and then obviously that's the end. So it's a very short zine. It's just the 8-page one. I would really like to get really big paper. I don't have any really big paper where you can fold it and it ends up being an A4 or an A5. It ends up being a sketchbook size zine. That would be cool, but I'd have to get really big paper. But anyway, basically that is my zine. I hope you enjoy the process of me making this. I had so much fun. So if you have been thinking about making a zine and you don't know whether to do it, do it. Do it. I think the hardest part for me personally for this whole zine was folding the paper. For me, that was my problem. Everything else was so much fun. Folding the paper, not fun. But I think I got the hang of it. I don't know, did I? I don't know. I think if I had to make another zine, I think I would be able to handle the folding part now. But no, I recommend trying it. You can do so many subjects that are personal to you. I've seen a lot of people do real personal ones about maybe their struggles with anxiety or just something in their life, and you don't have to share them, but it can be a nice process. Or you can just do ones like this that are interesting, which was mine was a stag beetle. You can do silly ones like, I don't know, why I like flip-flops. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm going to stop rambling away, and that is pretty much the finished piece that I really enjoyed doing, and I like how it turned out. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.